Philip Sykes. We love Philip on this show. He's the principal of the British School of Etiquette. Good morning, Philip.
Wonderful. Good morning to you as well, Malcolm. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Really well. Tell me, how was your chat with everyone with regard to dogs and hot pavements?
Yeah, we're going to revisit that after 12 because we think it's important, and we're going to tell people how they don't have to walk the dog, and we're also going to continue how do you keep your dog cool. So that's the answer to that question.
How wonderful. How lovely. I do find that intriguing. Anyway, I'm in your hands, Malcolm.
Good, Philip. Then I shall ask you this. Will etiquette change now we've had Freedom Day?
We've been pondering that here at the British School of Etiquette, Malcolm. I don't think in a hurry. I think people, it takes a long time to build a habit, and we've all fallen into a new way of life, and we've all created new habits. So I think our subconscious is going to be there to protect us going forward. I think people will become more vigilant and realizing that it's not overly... the correct thing to do is just to sort of encroach on someone's space. I think, as you, I'm sure, have heard in the news that despite people having, their vaccinations, people are still getting ill through the various variants of the coronavirus. So I think we as human beings, we need to be vigilant. We need to continue doing what we've been doing for the last 20 months.
Maybe we need to be more vigilant than ever with the virus spreading so quickly, despite the fact that some of us have chosen not to wear masks.
Yeah, no, we need to be respectful. As the government and everyone's all been saying, is that it's not about you at the end of the day, it's about other people. So we have a responsibility and a duty to continue to be vigilant and to realize that we could be a carrier, and that by not wearing a mask, you could be putting someone else's life at risk.
How long does it take to break a habit and create a new one?
There, you've asked me a great question. It's generally 66 days, believe it or not. Yeah, we as human beings, 21 days to sort of, bring in a new habit, but 66 days to break a habit.
Crumbs. That's incredible, isn't it? So when we come to engaging with people, will that change, keeping our social distance, and even if they're relatives, being more careful?
I think caution. We've spoken about this before, Malcolm, using your 6-second rule, stopping, pausing before you engage. Secondly, I think have your situational awareness about you. Because I do believe that people will have that urge to connect again on a more personal level. But I think just slow down in the instance. Be very present when we're connecting and engaging with one another. And then sort of think it through and think, is this appropriate? For example, if I were to extend my hand to you and you didn't feel comfortable shaking hands, then I would need to respect that. Having said that, we see, just with what's been going on in the sporting world of late, handshaking and people hugging one another in congratulation when they congratulate one another. So it's sort of a very mixed messages going on out there.
Yeah. During the pandemic, one of the finer things to come from it, perhaps the finest, was the attitude of, what can I do for you? How can I help? Is that here to stay?
I pray it is. I really do. And I think we as human beings, we really need to understand the importance in that. What can I do for you? How can I help you? And if we all go through life like that, I truly know and believe that you will get tenfold back into your world, whether you're investing for yourself right now or for generations to come. But it is such an important, a key phrase that we need to incorporate into our being, into our DNA.
66 days to break a habit and to form a new one. But I think in 66 days' time, I don't know if you're going to agree with what I'm going to say, but in 66 days' time, we will still have the virus hanging over us. So things might be more difficult to change personally for us. What do you think?
I agree with you. I do believe that we need to continue as we've been continuing for the last 20 months. And to adhere to the rules and regulations. All of a sudden, just because the government says, okay, now you can whip your masks off and you can go back to normality. Unfortunately, there is no normality compared to what we've just experienced. We need to be understanding and appreciative and respectful at the same time. I mean, we're not allowed to even travel to countries that you would have thought the doors would be open to, like the USA or Canada. They're not letting people in for obvious reasons, because this virus, as you said earlier, Malcolm, it's spreading fast and furiously. There are different constraints of it. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, I'm no medical doctor at all, but I do know from what I've read and the sources that I sort of engage with, this virus is not going to go away in a hurry. There will be different constraints of it, variants of it, and going forward, we do need to be more on our A game. And if you look back, way back, where China and Hong Kong were hit hard with the bird flu and the SARS,
Yes.
they've always worn masks. They've always worn masks, and that's one of the reasons why I think China were able to sort of get back to some form of normality within reason, because of their vigilant approach to listening and adhering to the rules and regulations.
Philip, it's always lovely having you on the show. Thank you very much indeed for coming on.
Such a pleasure. Always, Malcolm. Thank you.